Welcome to the lecture number 10, in which we will describe the boundary and initial conditions. Myself P.S. Chaugule from Department of Mechanical Engineering, SIT COE, Yatra. In the previous videos, we come to know the basic concept of heat, temperature, the thermal conductivities, what does the heat generation phenomena, the heat transfer modes, and now while solving the any example, you need to know what are the boundary or initial conditions. So let's start. The boundary and initial conditions. The description of heat transfer problem in a medium is not complete without a full description of the thermal conditions at the boundary or bounding surfaces of the medium. In the previous videos where I explained the Fourier's law, in that case I have told you F1 and F2, these are the boundaries or the bonding surfaces. So we need to know, while calculating the heat transfer, we need to know the boundary and initial condition, without which we cannot describe or we cannot calculate anything, right? So what are the boundary and initial conditions are? Boundary condition means the mathematical expression of the thermal condition at the boundaries. The temperature at any point on the wall at a specified time depends on the condition of geometry at the beginning of the heat conduction process. Means that geometry, it also plays the role, but at the same time we need to know the basic conditions initially, what the temperature is and from which temperature heat is transferred from one place to the another phase. Such a condition which is usually specified at time t is equal to 0. So remember, henceforth wherever there is a small t, that belongs to time, and wherever there is a capital T, that belongs to the temperature. It's called the initial condition, which is the mathematical expression for the temperature distribution of the medium initially. Means if I consider a slab, a one side temperature is of 300 Kelvin and other side temperature is of 500 Kelvin, that is nothing but the boundary conditions or initial conditions. At temperature T, at time T is equal to 0, these are the temperatures and we need to find the Q. So the boundary conditions, mainly there are some types. First one is a specified temperature boundary condition. Second one, specified heat flux boundary condition. Third one, convection boundary condition. Fourth one, radiation boundary conditions. Fifth one, interface boundary conditions. And lastly, the generalized boundary conditions. So we need to consider all these boundary conditions, out of which in example they may give only one, and based on that we need to use the different formula. As you know, the different heat modes are there and different laws are there for that particular heat transfer, and by this means we need to find out the temperature distribution curve or temperature at particular point inside the geometry, inside the object. So let's come to know one by one. Specified temperature body condition. The temperature of an exposed surface can be usually measured directly and easily. If I consider a slab, you can measure the temperature of that slab at both sides. Means at the left side and at the right side. If I want to measure with the help of instrument, we can easily measure directly. Therefore, one of the easiest way to specify the thermal conditions on the surface is to specify the temperatures. Means in this criteria, specified temperature boundary conditions, if they define the boundary condition with the temperatures only, the phase temperatures, then we can say here the boundary condition belongs to specified temperature. For one-dimensional heat transfer through a plane wall of thickness L, the specified temperature boundary condition can be expressed as, so let's look at this. Here it is, the left side 150 degrees Celsius, right side 70 degrees Celsius, and that's it. These are the boundary conditions. Means heat will transfer from 150 to 70 degrees Celsius. How we come to know the heat flow? Because of the temperature. Heat flows from higher temperature to the lower temperature. So in that case, if I want to find the boundary conditions, it will be T0, T is equal to 150 degrees Celsius. 0 is the x, the length x. At x is equal to 0 and at that particular time 150 degrees Celsius, and other side T when x is equal to L at that particular time 70 degrees Celsius. So these are the boundary conditions. Next one, specified heat flux. As you know, heat flux means what? Right. Heat transfer per unit area. So the unit of this one, heat flux, watt per meter square. Right. The heat flux in the positive x direction anywhere in the medium including the boundaries can be expressed as in this way. Means the heat flux instead of temperature, if I want to give you, or if examiner or in the problem they have given the heat flux, then Q0 and QL they have given, right? Q is the heat flux and QL is the heat flux. That 0 suffix 0 belongs to the x is equal to 0 at x is equal to 0 and x is equal to L, and that you can further modify, which is equal to K because of the Fourier's law. We can derive this equation minus K dt upon dx, and that dt depend upon the at particular x and time t, and through this conduction we need to find out what is the Q, right? So this belongs to the specified heat flux boundary condition. Next, some special cases are there. Insulated surfaces. Suppose one side is insulated, then in that case here it is the insulation provided. This one is the insulation, means heat will not flow from this point to the left side towards the insulation. Insulation is the barrier, right? So heat will definitely flow from 0 to L, and in that case they have given the temperature gradient at x is equal to 0. Since heat will not flow from the towards the left side, so at that point it is equal to 0. Temperature gradient at that point is equal to 0. There one more special case is there, thermal symmetry. Let's see what it is. In some heat transfer problem, the thermal symmetry as a result of symmetry in imposed thermal conditions. For example, the two surfaces of large hot plate of thickness L suspended vertically in air is subjected to the some thermal conditions, and thus the temperature distribution on the half plate is the same as that of the other half plate. That is, the heat transfer problem in this plate possesses thermal symmetry about the center plane. Hope you understand this. If the heated plate is suspended in the air, the center point is at higher temperature than that of the both sides temperature, and that will belongs to the thermal symmetry. The center plane can be viewed as an insulated surface because at that point, right, the thermal gradient, temperature gradient is 0 at a center point, and the thermal condition at this plane of symmetry can be expressed in this way. So here you will get 0 slope, obviously, because this plate, it is initially heated, and if it is placed in the air or suspended in a room, then definitely the center temperature is somewhat higher, than the lower temperature. Or you may imagine the in case of baked potato, if we peel it and if we cut it, then the center temperature is much more higher than the outer surface temperature, right? So in that case, if I consider a temperature distribution curve, it should be asymmetric about its center, and at this center there is a zero slope. Slope is nothing but the tangent, right, to this curve. So if I draw tangent to this point, it will be a horizontal and the slope is equal to 0. Means at a center point, at L is equal to 2, at a center point, the temperature gradient is equal to 0. This will be the special case when the thermal symmetry appears. And this is the boundary condition for that, which resembles the insulation or zero heat flux boundary condition. At the center plane, there is a zero heat flux boundary condition. Come to next, convection boundary conditions. In that, the heat will absorb by means of convection initially, and from this plate or from this wall, it will flow, heat will flow by means of conduction and again by means of convection. Take an example of room. So in a winter or in a summer, through the convection, heat will flow or wall will get uh, will absorb some sort of energy, and it will gives out in the room also. So in that case, the condition at that climate is somewhat different than condition inside the room. So in that case, they may have defined the H1 and T. T is the temperature of fluid flow. H1 is the coefficient, convective coefficient. And if I define these two parameters, then this will be the convection boundary condition. Next one is the radiation. This is also the same. By means of radiation, if heat transfer from the this wall, radiation, because of radiation, there is a temperature difference. Inside of this wall, there is some radiations. Outside of this wall, some radiations are there. Then epsilon and T surrounding temperature, and here epsilon to T surrounding temperature. These are the boundary conditions for radiation. Then interface boundary condition means what? When two different material connected with each other, like suppose in a brick which is made up of half which is made up of some different material and half which is made up of different material, or we are using the for the wall there are some layers or wall putty and the plaster of Paris, then the brick construction, then cement construction. Likewise, in that case, there are different material and every material having the different thermal conductivities. So here you will get the interface. So at that interface, we need to define the condition, and this condition, even though it is the same phenomena in the conduction only, we need to consider, but they have to find out, or we need to give you the interface temperatures. If it is so, then we called it as interface boundary condition. Try to remember this, why you get this type of curve, because the thermal conductivity of this material is somewhat different than this one, and that's why the temperature distribution curve may not belong to a single curve, but it may be of a different type of two curves. Then generalized boundary condition. In general, however, a surface may involve convection, radiation, and specified heat flux simulations. Means combination of all these. Then at that case, the boundary condition is obtained from the surface energy balance equation. Means the energy comes in and energy goes out. Heat transfer to the surface in all modes and heat transfer from the surface in all modes. So if combination of all this, then we need to consider it as generalized boundary conditions, right? Thank you and keep learning. Stay connected.